Hello, 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 beautiful people. I hope all is well. I hope all is well. So I am actually starting live Q&A 1 hour later today. My apologies, but I mean, had to get my hair done. Did y'all see me on live yesterday? I was looking wild, and so I cannot continue to look wild. Okay, I got other problems too. Like I have a broken nail. I need to get a pedicure. I need to take care of myself, and I've just been not doing it. So sorry that I had to start an hour late. However, it was because I had to give y'all this fabulosity, because last night y'all did not get fabulosity. You got Hot Mess Express. But thank you for joining Lal. I am Taylor Chandler, one of my favorite therapists. Thank you for joining. Mama's Boy, got that? Mama's Boy, welcome. A Beautiful Jewel, thank you for joining us this evening. Life of a... I don't know what that is. I'm sorry. Life of somebody who's black, and I love that. Welcome, Danny. Thank you for joining the live stream. Kingdom Percussionist. Thank you for joining. King Brunson, Miss Fina 1920. Congratulations on your engagement. So excited for the wedding. Please let me know. I'd love to send you a gift. King Humble, Miss Dixon, Mrs. Dixon to you. That's right, sis. I got it. Welcome everyone who is joining the live stream. So if you are new to my page, my name is Alison. I have a bachelor's degree in education. I have a master's degree in counseling, master's degree extension in mental health counseling, and I am a certified dating and relationship coach. This is not in an effort to boast and brag, because I definitely have a whole lot of student debt because of all those degrees, but it's in an effort for me to let you guys know that this is the real deal. When you are choosing people to listen to, when you are choosing to take advice from someone, you want to make sure that you vet them. And a lot of the things that I talk about with my clients and my coaching programs, a lot of the things I talk to you guys about is vetting is key. You should not be in a relationship with someone you have not vetted. You should not be going on dates with someone you have not vetted. You should not be going to a hairstylist or a barber for someone that you have not vetted. You should not be going on a job interview from a company you have not vetted. So in an effort to train you in the vetting process, I'm going to just start with the accolades. Okay? Okay. Also, if you are new to my page, I want to welcome you to the land of love. The land of love and the land of truth sometimes. Sometimes truth hurts, but it's A-okay. It's for the purpose of helping you to get to the land of love. So I want you to introduce yourself. I want you to let us know who you are and where you are from, so that I can welcome you to the land of love. And I would like to give a special shout out again to I Am Taylor Chandler for purchasing a badge. I appreciate the financial support as well as your physical support by being on this live. So even if you choose not to spend $1 with me, you are here, you are listening, you are hopefully changing your methodology, hopefully sharing my post, sharing this live by clicking on the little arrow thingy that's right there and sharing it with a friend. Anyone who you think can benefit, please do so. Mrs. Dixon to you is from Newark, New Jersey, not too far from me. Jean-Luc is also from Jersey. Jersey's in the house. Tilly ain't the first time you hear, but she is from Atlanta, Georgia. Yes, what is it? I am J. Renee. Like, this is why I was late, because I had to get my hair done. Check out my live from yesterday. Content amazing. Hair Hot Mess Express. Nero from Brooklyn. That's where I'm from. Thank you. King Brunson, thank you for purchasing the badge. Palona, thank you for purchasing the badge. Jen is from Queens. Thank you for letting us know, and I want to welcome you. And if you want to get some updates as to when I'm going live, all you have to do is text the word align to 21,000. Can someone please do me the favor? Go ahead and put it in the comments for me. Text the word align, A-L-I-G-N, to 21,000, and you will receive alerts anytime that I go live, so that you don't miss out on the tea that we're about to sip. I mean, I'm about to sip on some like strawberry, I don't know, aloe water, but tea nonetheless. And Brittany Marie, who is from Jamaica. So thank you for letting me know where you are from. Thank you for joining this live stream. For those who have supported financially, I appreciate you, because we're definitely about to drop some gems. Again, if you are new, you may not know what the hell this is. So every Wednesday I do this live Q&A. Allison, how does it work? Let me tell you. The day before, which is the Tuesday, I put in my stories a green story, and it has a question box, and it says, if you have any questions, drop your questions right here. You drop your question right here. If you submit your story via the questions, I will definitely get to it. I guarantee it. I will not leave this chair, even though I got to go to Home Depot with my husband. But I will not leave this chair till I answer your question. If you put it in the comments, I will not answer it because it's disorganized. And I'm an educator at heart. I need organization. If you put it in the question queue, I will try, but there are absolutely no promises. Let me tell you what the promises are. The promises are, if you answer the question right here in the bubble, you see that? I'm trying to, the finger that's not broken. Ooh, too close, too far. Put it here and I'll get to it. That is a guarantee. All right, beautiful people, we are going to jump right in. I got some really great questions this week. All right, so let's start a little light because I got some stuff that's a little heavy. Did I say welcome Brittany Marie from Jamaica? If I didn't, I'm sorry, but welcome Brittany Marie from Jamaica. Okay. Let's start lighter. Because this was some heavy stuff. Okay, this is nice and light. What kind of body language to use to get men's attention with these dang masks on? What kind of body language to use to get men's attention with these dang masks on? All right, so that's an excellent question, right? It's quite difficult for you to be able to, especially women, use your feminine wiles when half your face is covered, all they can see is your eyes and perhaps your big forehead, right? So that is not the easiest thing to navigate, right? But you have your whole body, and let's talk about what that whole body looks like. So obviously your face is not going to be an option, but your body, let me see if I can angle this down just a wee bit. Yeah. Now sit up just a little bit. So what you're going to do is opening up your chest. That's number one. When you are crossed like this, and especially for my New Yorkers that's on here, right? When you're crossed like this, you're giving people the impression that you are disinterested and you are almost literally building a wall to protect your heart. So you got to uncross the chest, right? That's going to be numero uno. Open up that chest. Open up yourself. Give folks the impression that you are willing to speak to them, that you are approachable. That's going to help your body. I'm going to tell you something else, and it might seem real silly, but playing with your hair as a woman also gives people the impression that you are flirty. I'm flirting, right? And even though if you guys can't see my smile, you can see my eyes. So you do the best that you can with what you have. The other side of the coin is, right? If you're in a position to take off your mask, right? If you're in a restaurant, you're in an indoor space, like you've walked through the door and now you can magically take off your mask because it's now safe, whatever, please do so. Like if you're in a position to not have your face covered while it's safe, don't do foolishness, right? When it's safe, take off your mask as much as you can within the realm of safety and smile. Smile, smile, smile. Now, I'll tell you this, and I have mostly women on here, but there are some gentlemen on here too. Look, we're not smiling because you asked us to smile. That's mad annoying. Come on, Ma, you can smile. Be happy. No, because I'm not happy in this moment and you trying to tell me as a stranger what to do is mad annoying. So no, I'm not going to smile for you. If I was interested in you, perhaps I would smile. I'm not interested, right? So please do not ask people to smile. That's quite annoying. However, if you desire to lean into your feminine energy and you want to be flirtatious and you want to give someone the impression from across the room that you're interested, smiling goes a long way. Opening up your chest goes a long way. Not having your back to people goes a long way. Walking up to them, safety first, and introducing yourself gives a guy the impression that you're actually interested in them, because how many women take that first step? Slowing down. And I know it's easier said than done, especially when you're in a metropolitan city, especially if you're in New York City. Slow down. When you are in a rush, anyone who's been trained properly has learned you don't bother people who are in a rush because they are busy, because they have places to go and people to see and things to do. So why would I interrupt someone who's clearly got a place to go? Get off the phone. If you are looking at your phone, then you are engaged. And to have an expectation that this guy is supposed to come up and so that he could get spazzed on, especially in New York City, right? Take the headphones out of your ears. You're giving people the impression that you're listening to something and you are engaged in a podcast and music and whatever. So give people the impression that you are readily available to have a conversation. Wave at them is what I Am Taylor Chandler says. Hey boo. Right? And again, mask, smize. We learned it from Tyra. Learn from the best. All right? Let us move on. Next question. And thank you for the feedback in the comments. I appreciate that. A gentleman says, I don't want to get your name wrong, so I don't want to, I don't want to get it wrong. Things roll a lot better when she takes that step into letting the guy know that you're interested. Yeah, it's helpful. I mean, there's a lot of argument around men want so much tradition but don't want to do the work to maintain that tradition. Women want so much tradition but don't want. So I'm not going to say women, all of you just need to start walking up to men, right? But if you feel comfortable and confident, then go ahead and do so. Don't be afraid to do so if you are ready to do so. And yes, you may be rejected and you will not die. Guess what? As far as I know, medically, no one has ever died from being rejected. You will be okay. Guys go through it all the time. They aight, you aight, okay? Next question. How can I let a guy know he doesn't look like his pics on Bumble? We matched, but after video chat, IDK. I wouldn't even say anything. I'll be honest with you. I wouldn't even say, hey, James, it was really nice to get to know you, but the photos that you posted, you looked thinner, you looked heavier, you looked more fit, you had more hair, you had a nicer smile, you must have bleached your teeth through an app. I'm not even going to explain it. I'll be honest with you. I just wouldn't. What I would tell James is say, hey, James, it was nice connecting with you. I assume that when you say this, he doesn't look like the pictures and that's a bad thing and you're no longer attracted to him. That's my assumption. I apologize if I'm wrong. But if you've seen the pictures, then you went on the video and he didn't look like the way that you anticipated, and that's a bad thing and it doesn't work for you anymore, right? Then my recommendation would be, hey, James, it was really nice connecting with you. However, I'm just not feeling the connection. I'm sure you feel the same way. That's always my key line. I'm sure you feel the same way. Wishing you all the best moving forward. So you started with a compliment, right? Oh, it was a pleasure getting to know you. You got straight to the point. You said, I'm not interested. I'm not feeling the chemistry. I'm not feeling the connection, whatever. You then gave him an out. You put the ball back in his court. I'm sure you feel the same way. Because most people, even if they really like the other person, are going to take that as a save and they're going to say, oh yeah, I was feeling it too, even if they weren't. Just to save face. So you're going to give them a little something. Let them save their face. Oh yeah, I was feeling the same thing too. And then wishing you all the best moving forward. That's it. Let them go. The sandwich. Soft. It was a pleasure. The meat. I was going to say pause, but I don't know if I'm too old to say pause. Or it's too much of a New Yorker to say pause. Then the meat, which is, look, I'm not interested. And then you close it off nice and soft, which is, I'm sure you felt the same way too. Wishing you all the best. That is the sandwich. Mama's Boy 1979 says, I think age disparities play a role in how the approach is perceived. Okay, yes, in regards to the traditional thing, right? Like, we want to hold on to some traditions, not others. We want to hold on to traditions that serve us, right? So a lot of guys will hold on to the tradition that serves us, which is women should stay home and take care of the kids in the house. But then the tradition that doesn't serve them, they're not necessarily for. Or women want to hold on to some traditions that serve them, which is a guy is going to pay all the bills, but doesn't want to hold on to the other traditions that don't serve them, which is, but I need to stay home and shut my mouth and I have no authority here because I'm not financially contributing. Again, that's the whole nother life, another day. Please don't rope me into that because we could talk all day. But I hear you. Thank you, Mama's Boy. And I got to tell you, Mama's Boy, I appreciate your insight. I'm not a fan of the name. No disrespect to mommy. But come on now. Love you. All right. Next. What should you oh, man, I can't read today. How should you question the seriousness of a relationship after 5 years and no ring? How should you question the seriousness of a relationship after 5 years and no ring? All right. Y'all might not like this. There's a lot of factors. So let me eliminate some of them. if you're talking about people who are young, right? If I am 25 and I dated a guy for the last 5 years from the age of 20 to 25, then having an expectation that we're engaged at the age of 25 in 2021, where people are holding back on building a family and all that good stuff, is impractical. So age matters. Age matters, okay? So, for me, in my age bracket, so if you're in your mid-30s and you're dating someone for 5 years and you've made it abundantly clear to this person that marriage is a desire that you have and they still have not proposed, then to me that means that they don't value marriage, or they don't value marriage with you. And as a result, if it were me, I would be out. If marriage is a deal breaker. So I'm putting a lot of assumptions on here, right? So it may be better if you were to book a call with me. You could click the link in my bio, tap the 3rd or the 4th button if you want 30 minutes or if you want an hour. So this is based on a lot of presumptions. I'm trying to do the best I can with what I have, right? So if you are in your 30s or later, you've made it clear to your partner that you desire marriage and it is a deal breaker for you, then it's been 5 years and they haven't proposed. I don't think that they will. And if they do, it won't be anytime soon. If that's a deal breaker, it's in your best interest to leave. If anything is a deal breaker for you, it would be in your best interest to leave. I am under the impression, and I am not a man, so for the gentleman who's on here, please feel free to respectfully disagree, right? I'm under the impression that men know. That's what I've been told. That's what I've heard. That's what I've experienced with my own husband, who is a man, and my dad, who's a man, right? Men know. So again, if you're in your 30s and up, after 2 years, if there are not clear conversations, when I'm talking about clear, it's going to be, baby, for your engagement ring, do you want platinum or white gold or gold? Like, that's clear, right? Baby, you want a big wedding or a small one? I'm thinking a small one might be better for us because maybe we could take that money and we could buy a house. Or I have a big family, babe. I don't know about nothing about that small wedding stuff when we get married. Like, if that conversation is not happening after 2 years, in my opinion, from someone who's in their 30s or older, this person is not dedicated to marrying you or not dedicated to marriage. So if that's a deal breaker, then it's time for you to move on. Yes. See, my husband said he knew. He knew. Mama's boy said 2 years at best. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I know Renica. I hope I don't get that wrong. Renica, don't kill me. Deal breaker. Important words to say. If it's a deal breaker for you, for some people, it's not a deal breaker. For some people, they don't desire marriage. They don't really care in either direction. It's a preference, but it's not a deal breaker. If it's a deal breaker for you, if anything is a deal breaker for you, then you need to go, right? And I'll also reemphasize, you made your desires abundantly clear. And so this is why when I work with my clients, I tell them to put what they want on their dating profile. I am Taylor Chandler, who's a therapist. She put a post today that said, oh man, it was good. What she said, something along the lines of things I've said before about, like, when you try to go with the flow, you're going to go nowhere. No one ever makes it to their destination going with the flow. It just doesn't happen. You have to make it abundantly clear from the beginning, from your dating profile, from your conversations on the dating app, when you transition to a telephone, when you transition to a first date, what your desires are. And it's not pressuring this person. If this person feels pressure, they don't have a desire to be married, or they don't have a desire to marry you. It's making what my intentions with my life is. I'm telling you what my desires are. I'm not saying that you have to marry me. I'm not saying that you have to have a baby with me. I'm not saying that you have to invest in property or stocks or whatever your thing is that you desire for your life. I'm explaining to you, as someone who's getting to know you, what my desires are, what my goals are, how I envision my life. And guess what, y'all? You should have a clear vision for your life. You should know what you're looking for in a partner. You should know how you envision your life, because those two things are not the same thing. You can say, I want a husband, or I want a wife who has blah, 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 blah. And they're great on paper. That's a classic expression, right? Clear on paper. They're great on paper. And then in practicality, it's not a good match for your life. So you have this guy, you have this girl that has all of these characteristics that you require. And then, but they kind of just want to backpack through Europe for the next couple of years. And so they want to hold off on children for 5 more years. But sis, you 38. That's not a good match for your life. They want to live a suburban lifestyle. You want to live in Manhattan on the 74th floor in some amazingness, right? They've always wanted to farm and grow their own land and live off the land. That's something that they've always desired, right? That's not the life you want to lead. So it's not only having a clear vision for what you want your partner to look like and behave like, but it's also about having a clear vision for your life, because those two things don't necessarily mean the same thing. It's not interchangeable, okay? Oh yeah, Taylor's still here. She said clear, specific, before any hormones or attractions or emotions are involved. I'm going to tell you from the get-go. I'm going to tell you on my dating profile. I'm not attached to you. I don't even know who you are. I am looking for a committed relationship. I'm going to check the box that says I want children, or I'm going to check the box that says I don't. Make it abundantly clear. That way, when you remove yourself, you're not being a bitch and you're not an F-boy. You made it clear what you wanted from the beginning. This person is either unwilling or unable to deliver. It's not your fault. It's not their fault. Cut your cord while you can. And please do not say, "Oh, I wasted 5 years." Let me correct that. Please do not say that he wasted 5 years of your life. Let's correct that. You wasted 5 years of your life. Or the more gentler approach to this is, it took you 5 years to realize exactly what you needed. This was a learning curve. You're not going to make those same mistakes again. So even for me, and I tell my story all the time, right? It was 4 years for me. 4 years, Dipset, right? I did not waste 4 years of my life. I learned valuable lessons in those 4 years about how not to make the same mistakes again. Because had I had not had those 4 years at that time, which was in my late 20s, right? Maybe I would have had those 4 years in my late 30s. And because I desire children, that would have made my life so much more complicated. So thank God I made the mistakes that I made when I made them, right? So I could learn from them and grow and develop and not make the same mistakes again. Because who want to make the same mistakes again? Not me. Do you? I do not. Bree says, since I started listening to you, I tell them what I want, marriage and kids, in the first few conversations, or at the very latest on the first date. Absolutely. Thank you so much. At the very latest on the first date. And again, I say this is how I present it, right? In an effort to tune up my femininity. I would present it like, in the next couple of years, I definitely see myself getting married and maybe having 1 or 2 children. Now, I ain't say I have to be with you, babes, but this is just something that I see for myself in my life. I ain't asked you to be a sperm donor. I didn't ask you to get on one knee and ask for my hand in marriage, and I didn't ask for your hand in marriage. I am expressing to you the vision I have for my life. And if it's not a good vision for you, then it's okay. Then we part ways and there's no investment, and who cares, right? And let me tell you this. People are going to be less inclined to lie to you, to pretend that they want something that you want, even though they don't want it, if you present this early in the game. They have no investment. Okay, you're a pretty face on a dating app, but if they really don't want marriage, they really don't want commitment, they really don't want children, they really don't want whatever, they don't know you, or they're not invested in you enough to really care that much. So they're going to be more inclined to just leave you alone, because there are going to be thousands of other profiles with beautiful women who are not going to hold them to that same standard. I don't want to use that because it makes it seem like not having children or not being married is a low standard, but a different standard, right? And you're absolutely right, Bree. I weeded out a lot of men, but hey, that's just means I'm closer to meeting my husband. And if they're disinterested, that's okay. The same thing for the gentleman. If you know that you do not want children or you do not want any more children, put it on your profile. Make it clear in the first set of conversations. Latest the first date. That way, if she wants children, you're not upsetting her. Then if she gets pregnant, it's she trapped you. Like, you don't know how biology works. I told you I didn't want any kids. Why would you go get pregnant? Yeah. Well, you also know how people get pregnant, right? So there's no real trap here. But nonetheless, let's avoid all that drama. Let's avoid who trapped who and who knows biology and who should have known better, who should have wore protection and who should have got snipped. Avoid all that. Make it abundantly clear what you want and what you don't want from the beginning. People are less inclined to lie to you when they're not invested in you. And if they ghost you or disappear or don't respond, great. That's one less person who's not wasting your time and you're not wasting their time. It's not all about you. There's a lot of selfishness in dating, right? Not only do I want to avoid not wasting my time, I also want to avoid you not wasting your time because I'm a kind human being who cares about others. So if there's something on your profile that I know that's not a good match for me, right? You're a conservative, I'm a liberal, right? You got a whole bunch of political stuff on there, you got a red cap on. I'm going to save me and I'm going to save you because the world doesn't revolve around me. It revolves around us, okay? Okay. I got 32 minutes and I'm going to try to make the best of it because I got a lot of questions today. Okay. What are some ways, this is in a perfect alignment with what I just said. What are some ways to ensure I'm not aligning myself with a situationship? What are some ways to ensure I'm not aligning myself with a situationship? Clarity brings security. It helps both men and women. And guess what? I Am Taylor Chandler said that before we even got to this question because that's how close it was to the question before. And so I'm so glad. When you make your intentions clear from the get-go, you are going to eliminate so many people who don't want the same things that you want. So that's going to be step one to help you avoid situationships. Step two, you are going to check in. Check in. You've been dating for X amount of months, whatever amount of months you deem as appropriate. You've been spending X amount of time and you want that commitment. This person is a person that you do want to be with exclusively. You can say, hey, Angela, we've been dating for the last 4 months. We've spent a lot of quality time together and you already know that I really like you. I want to be committed to you and only you. I don't want to see any more people. I want to delete these apps off my phone. What do you want? James, we've been dating for 6 months. I've spent a lot of quality time with you. You make me laugh and you already know how I feel about you. I only want to see you. I don't want to see anybody else. I want to be with you exclusively. What's up? It's been 2 months. Whatever you deem as appropriate. I'll tell you a couple weeks ain't it, right? But whatever you deem as appropriate. And read the room. Do they text you back? Do they call you? Do they also initiate quality time? Do they care about you? Read the room. Because you're not going to say, well, Alison said to ask you and now I'm heartbroken because he says he's not interested. Read the room. You can tell if someone's interested in you. You can tell if you're just passing time. So I wouldn't put my heart on my sleeve for somebody who I'm not sure about. I can tell if they like me too. I'm going to ask man, woman. I was going to say man, woman, or child, but that's awkward. Man or woman, right? I can tell if you like me, if I like you too. We're going in the right direction. I'm going to ask, what's up? This is what I want. What do you want? If they say they're not sure, that is the end of the road. Goodbye. I am not here in my mid-30s. I am not here for you to completely I am not here for me to allow my time to be wasted. Again, accountability is key, right? Because I'm not a slave. I'm not shackled. I can leave whenever I want. I am not going to continue to waste my time. So if we've been dating for 3 months, we've been dating for 6 months, you've given me the impression that you're interested in me romantically. I like you and I want to commit to you. I ask you, I want to see you exclusively. And you say you're not sure you need more time. You can have all the time that you want by yourself. Because I'm not going to continue to feed into and create a situationship. A situationship is a hot mess express. It's only going to give you grief. And then a year from now, when you've allowed this foolishness to continue, right? And then he or she does something that pisses you off, and then you go off on them, then they're going to say, you're not my girl anyway. You ain't like the truth. You did not like the truth. You not my girl anyway. Who you think you is? I don't know why I got this voice on. Who do you think you are? You not my man. And now you're ready to punch walls because guess what? Punch yourself. She's absolutely right. Punch yourself. He's absolutely right. Establish the boundaries. You think I'm going to work and then after 2 weeks, I don't get a paycheck and I'm going to keep working? No. There was an understanding. I'm coming here to do the job. In exchange, you give me a paycheck. Now, we all know there's a delay when you first start a job, right? So now we're a month in and I don't get that paycheck. Dipset, like, we need to just stop wasting each other's time. Establish the boundary. If they're unwilling or unable to commit to you verbally, right? I need you to say those words, because the day you tell me you're not my man, I'm not your girl, you're not my girl, then I don't want to have to lose my good city job because somebody called the cops on me. So to avoid me losing it, and losing it because I'm the fool who allowed this to happen, so I deserve this, right? Let's avoid all that. I need a verbal. You know when you get on the plane and you sit in the what you call it, by the exits, and they say, I need a verbal yes. Can you assist us in the case of emergency? And then somebody goes, and then they go like this. I need a verbal yes. It's as corny as the 80s and the 90s when they had to put the pin in the varsity jacket on Saved by the Bell. That's how obvious. I want the hottest chick in the game is wearing my chain. I want it visible. I want it clear as day. I don't want any confusion. Because when there's confusion, situationships come, and then now you're mad because you chose to waste your own time. Don't do it. Dipset. And that's all I'm going to say about that in my Forrest Gump voice, which is my second favorite movie of all time, by the way. My first favorite movie is Malcolm X. All right. Who child? Someone asked the same question again. How long is too long to wait for a ring? Depending on your age, that's going to vary. For me, if you are not having clear conversations about marriage within 2 years of your relationship, clear conversations about marriage within 2 years of your relationship as a person in your 30s or older, that's it, right? And then maybe we're talking year 3 and there's no actual ring on fingers, right? No actual, I mean, it don't have to be a ring. Some people get a tattoo, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like an engagement that's clear as day. Nah, Dipset. Dipset is the phrase of the day. Okay. Is it wrong to ask someone to take a COVID test before meeting up, regardless of their vaccine status? Is it wrong to ask someone to take a COVID test? I'm smiling. I'm not laughing at the question. I'm laughing because I can hear my husband in the living room laughing. And if there's a delay, I don't know if you guys know, when someone does a live stream, there's like a 10 to 15 second delay. So I'm reading the question and I'm hearing him laughing, and that's what's making me laugh. Is it wrong to ask someone to take a COVID test before meeting up, regardless of status? All right, we getting some mixed responses. Trinita says no, saying that. So Trinita, you think this is acceptable? Positively, Rhonda says, LOL, that's too much, right? Bree is laughing. I assume that she thinks it's too much. Taylor, the therapist, says, is that really a buffer because I don't like them or find them attractive? No, I'm getting the impression that they like them, but they're really concerned about COVID. So this is what I would say. You have a right to ask for whatever you want to ask to make you feel more comfortable. And I would imagine that this person probably has like an elderly parent that they're caring for, grandparent. Like, this is not just the average fearful person. I mean, I feel like we've been in COVID for almost 2 years, a year and a half, whatever, a year and 10 months. I don't think this isn't COVID from March, right? We have the vaccine. Plenty of people are vaccinated. So I would imagine this person has a heightened sense of fear because of something else that they're going through. You have the right to ask for whatever you want. If that person tells you, sis, you're bugging, then you've lost out, right? I would probably laugh and say no. But some people might comply. And I don't think that the people who comply are better people, or, oh, he must really like you if he complied versus not. Some people just find it invasive. They find it over the top and they may not comply. So just be prepared to get a lot of no's. Be prepared to get a lot of no's, but you have a right to ask for whatever you want. What I would recommend is to just ask for a virtual date first. I'd ask for some Zoom dates. I'd ask for some nicer FaceTimes. I make a meal on my table, you make a meal on your table, and then we see where it goes from there. I would do outdoor dates. Keep your distance. Don't touch each other. Say that in the beginning. Hey, I'm a little concerned with COVID. I do take care of my mom, blah, blah, blah. So can we take a stroll in the park? You still got a couple of weeks. Take advantage of outdoor dining. You can ask for whatever you want. Whether or not most people would comply, I don't think so. But that's because I wouldn't comply. So I can be super biased and I can be super wrong. Okay? I was going to wear a mask the whole time. I don't know. Okay. Joseph says, I got to really like you to do all that. Okay, so maybe it is a measure of liking. Maybe so. I imagine this is the first date, so how can I like you enough to comply? So I'm going to go to City MD and wait for 3 hours, and then I got to get the rapid. You want the rapid? You want the CPR? Like, again, maybe I'm just the wrong person to ask. For me, I would say good luck on your journey early. Okay? Next. First time dating a man with a child. The child ends up not liking you. Do you now end it with the man? First time dating a man with a child. The child ends up not liking you. Do you now end it with the man? Y'all come with the heat today. All right. For me, and I guess I'm lucky because I'm married off, right? So I don't have to worry about it. I do not have or did not have an interest in dating men with children. I, in my dating days, did not date men with children. So I avoided all scenarios with children, liking me or not liking me, latching on to me. I don't really like him. I really like the kid. Do I stick around? Baby mothers who he's still sleeping with, baby mothers who he's not sleeping with, money. I avoided all that because in my dating years, I avoided dating men with children. So I cannot speak from experience in this regard. What I would say is, if I was dating a guy and his child did not like me, I would no longer date him. I would not date a man whose child did not like me. I would not say, oh, things will change. I would not say, it's the mother who's feeding all this negativity, because then when will it stop? I will not say, oh, well, he only has the kid every other weekend, so I'll just stay away. All of those factors are too dangerous for me. Oh, he only has the kid every other weekend, and I'll just stay away every other weekend, and then the mom becomes ill, and then he becomes the custodial parent, and then you become stepmom, then what? What if he has a desire to spend more quality time with his child other than every other weekend, and so now you're staying away for half of the week, then what? What if you guys want to progress and you move in, then what? Like, for me, I am staying away from men who have children. And I know that's not an easy thing for me to say, but you guys know that I always offer transparency, and it's not kind, it's not warm, it's not understanding, it's not flexible, but it's not Alison. I'm not doing it. However, if you feel compelled to do it, one, because you may have a child, so you're thinking to yourself, who am I to judge? I'm not going to presume this is problematic. I'm a great mom. The child's dad is a great dad. We have no problem. So I'm not going to put that on anybody else, right? Or you may say, ooh, damn, I just bent my nail really hard. Ooh. Or you may say to yourself, damn, I got distracted. I hate that. I get very easily distracted, y'all. Or you may say to yourself, there's not any guys that don't have children. Not true. So I don't have a choice. For me, party done. I'm leaving. Bree said, I will end it. Be upfront with the man, though, and let him know that's the reason. Yeah, I'm dating someone. I'll tell you, like, look here. I don't think this relationship can work because Junior does not like me. You've seen it. He throws things. He calls me a bitch. He said, my mother said that I don't want any problems. Let me cut ties now before I become too attached to you. And then now this is hurtful. I'm moving on. And then he needs to discipline his kid moving forward so that this guy doesn't lose out on every girlfriend that he has because the kid is probably purposefully being difficult. Or maybe you're not very nice. I mean, we could tackle that too. I just don't know. Would hate to love the children and not the woman anymore. Yeah, so mama's boy, does that mean that you're not interested in dating women with children? And if that's the case, that's perfectly fine. Like I said, I'm not doing, in my dating years, I wasn't doing it either. But I will ask you, mama's boy, do you have children? And what are you guys' general thoughts about people who have children who refuse to date other people with children? I think that's always a great conversation. Same here. Did not want to date a man with kids. Everything that comes with it, or potentially could come with it, Gigi. You have to deal with too much stress. Okay, do what makes you comfortable. Yeah, Jap. You ain't my daddy. You ain't my mommy. On Bumble, I noticed that some men write in their profile, their kid comes first always. I understand, but I would want time with that too. Yeah, because, I mean, your children should be your priority, right? They should be your number one priority. After caring for yourself, because you have to be able to function in society in order to be a good parent. So you need to be really your number one priority so that you can live, breathe, eat, be, do for them. And then to your children. So you have that, and then in the same token, you as a single parent or a single person who doesn't have children also want that. So what do? Oh, heck no, cussing child. I do not want kids, so I avoid dating men with children. That makes sense. I never want to be a stepdaddy. I get it. I understand. Okay? Next question. What are some tips on maintaining a relationship? What are some tips on maintaining a relationship? So I'm going to give you the quick answer because this could be alive all on its own. But one of the key things, everyone always says communication is key, communication is key, communication is key. Yes, it's one of the keys, right? I theorize there are 10 keys, and I actually wrote an ebook called The 10 Love Commandments. If you know me, I'm a big hip hop fan, Biggie, 10 Crack Commandments, so it's the 10 Love Commandments, right? And so it is one of the keys, but communication is not the make or break of any relationship, nor the other 9 keys that I have in my ebook. Click the link in my bio in order to purchase. So the quick answer would be, other than you already know communication, I think another important element is, and someone just said it, comprehension. Like, we can communicate, I can talk to you all day, but if you don't have an appreciation for the words that are coming out of my mouth, if you don't have an appreciation for the emotions that I'm going through, if you can't comprehend, right? I say that all the time to people, like, you understand, and if I don't understand, I say, I understand the words that are coming out of your mouth. Like Chris Tucker, like, I understand the words that are coming out of your mouth. I don't understand what to do next. I don't, like, like if someone's trying to, like, tell me, like, a technological thing, like, I understand the words, but I don't understand what to do with it. So comprehension is key. Another element that I mentioned in my book that's super important, and people forget it over the years, is having fun. People don't talk about how important fun is. You got to find a way to maintain the fun. My husband just said to me the other day, babe, we're supposed to have our date night. We haven't had our date night in 2 months. Summertime, best time in New York City, and we haven't had our date night in 2 months. Slipping. And we don't have a baby yet. So you have to be mindful. You have to keep track of the last time. What was the last time we went out? When was the last time we had a vacation? When was the last time we laid up and we just watched Netflix or TV together? All right, baby, you gotta blow up all. I remembered, Jap. Thank you. You had to put the whole timeline. Point being, make an effort to have quality time. You have children, find a friend who won't kill them. Get your grandma who won't leave the door open. Find somebody who can care for your children for a few hours once a month at minimum, and go away. Get a part-time job. Grind out so you can afford a vacation if you can't afford it with your regular job. Go on you know what vacations do to a relationship? Rejuvenate. Brand new. Sex on the balcony. Drinking cheap liquor. Maybe buying some weed off the Jamaican weed man. Go on vacation. Those are the things, very briefly, that can really help you to maintain and upkeep your relationship. And if you want more, 10 Love Commandments, click the link in my bio, scroll down to the self-help section. I think so. That's where it is. All right. I need a vacation. Absolutely. Absolutely. The next one for me and Jew are going to be December, God willing. Okay? How do you break soul ties from your child's other parent? How do you break soul ties from your child's other parent? I actually did 2 reels about soul ties. And I talk specifically about breaking it with the parent of your child, because clearly you can't cut them off like you can cut off anybody else. So for the purpose of time, I would tell that person, go to the Reels section of my page. I did 2 reels back to back. I think I have black t-shirt and braids up into a bun. And it says soul ties. Check it out. That's going to help you. Okay. Taylor Chandler, give me some more insight on stop calling it a soul tie. Why not? Tell us. Okay. Okay. Got one. Let me see. Okay. This is a good one. Is it okay for a man who's in a wheelchair to look for women who is not? Will she see him as a man? Is it okay for a man who's in a wheelchair to look for women who's not? Will she see him as a man? All right. So my recommendation for those who are experiencing a disability, especially one that's visible, right? Like something that anyone can see once they can see, right? Would be to not necessarily limit themselves to those who also have that disability. However, you do have to be cognizant that someone who is not experiencing the disability that you are not going to have a full appreciation for it, and by default might be afraid of it because it's not an experience that they've had, right? And so if there's a woman who is not in a wheelchair and doesn't want to date you, don't take it as a rejection of you. It would be, in essence, them not having an understanding of what that life is like and being afraid of having someone in their life that they potentially would have to care for. That would be their fear, whether or not it's real, right? Or being embarrassed or what have you. So should you limit yourself only to someone who has a similar disability to you? No. But do have an understanding that if someone is not having a similar life experience as you, they're going to have fears attached to it. And as a result, they may not give you a chance. But that's not even limited to disabilities only, right? Like there's plenty of people who don't want to interracially date. They don't want to date someone of a different race, of a different culture, because they're fearful they won't have an understanding for the experience. And so they stay away. So are you forced to limit yourself to only those who have a similar disability to you? No. However, I just need to be frank with you, right? You're going to have a harder time with those who don't have the similar disability because they're just not going to have an appreciation for what you're going through. And as a result, they're going to reject it. Not a rejection of you as a human being, but a rejection of the experience. I highly recommend to my clients, if there is something that most people would argue would make dating difficult for you, then you should find communities and dating apps that are associated to whatever that difficulty that you deem as problematic, whatever you find that to be. Find dating apps that are suited for you. I'm trying to find think of an example that's appropriate and a good match for this kind of disability. Because I don't want to be insensitive, but off the top of my head, I know that there are disabilities in alignment with like STDs or I should say stigmas that are in alignment with STDs or stigmas that are in alignment with like height, right? So there are plenty of dating apps that are made for people who have STDs. There are plenty of dating apps that are made for people who may be considered a little person or whatever, right? And I don't know this for a fact, but I am very confident that there are dating apps for people who experience different types of disabilities. I would join those apps as well as pursuing other people outside of it. I would join communities. Facebook is an amazing place where there are millions of communities of people who are going through similar experiences, temporarily or in the long term. Join those too. That would be helpful in order to align with people who have the experience that you do. And so you don't have to explain away and you don't have to be worried about being rejected. And again, the rejection is not about you. The rejection is about the experience. Ahmad says, what happens if the disability happens 10 years after marriage? Well, we married. I mean, right? For better for better or for worse, for sickness and in health. So if someone is disabled after marriage, I would imagine that they wouldn't be left by their spouse because of it. Because then what was the purpose of you giving your vows? I would like to think, right? That's what I'd like to think. Of course, someone might use that as an excuse in order to leave because they don't want to deal with the complications that may arise. Maybe there were other issues and this was the straw that broke the camel's back. We don't know. But if you are married, disability or not, you shouldn't be leaving your partner over that disability. That is the purpose of marriage, that you have a lifelong partnership, no matter what. No matter what within reason, because, like, if you whooping on me, then... But you get my point. Okay. Let's see. I think I have one more, which is perfect timing, because if you are a homeowner or about to be a homeowner, like Ahmad Hemingway, you are going to live in Home Depot. And Andrew Wellington and I have to go to Home Depot before it closes at 10 p.m. Okay. I had one more question. I know I saw it. I know there was one more. I was kind of doing it out of order. I normally don't do it out of order. And this is why I need organization. I was doing it out of order because some of them were really heavy. I didn't want to start with something so heavy. The last question. How can I tell a guy... How can I tell a guy is interested in me at the gym? What if he's shy? So I can tell if someone's interested in me if they're looking at me. That would be a good telltale sign. If they're striking up conversation with me, that would give me the impression that they're interested in me romantically. If they're shy, so no communication verbally, no communication body language, then so I'm weak at your husband. What is he saying? I don't even know what he's saying in there. If he's shy, so I'm not getting any verbal, I'm not getting any visual, then I just don't know. And I just don't know, and I just don't know. And I don't know what else to do. But if you're interested in him, you can walk up to the person. The gym is difficult. I agree, King Brunson. Gym hookups are weird. Like, you're sweaty, you're uncomfortable. You might be dressed like scantily clad, only because you have on tights or shorts or whatever. And, you know, you're squatting. It's awkward. But if you're interested in the guy and you can't tell, then there's nothing wrong with you introducing yourself. Check out the ring finger. See if he's giving you any feedback and take it from there. If he's not, then you know he's disinterested. If he is, then he's interested. This is not rocket science, y'all. Just go and say hello. Nature will take its course. We will see where we go, right? And that is the end of that. I want to thank all of you for joining tonight's live stream. Thank you for waiting for the extra hour for me to get my hair did. Because again, last night's live stream was full of gems. I interviewed my own real estate agent, Invest with Quran, and he gave us so much insight about investing in real estate, buying property as a single person versus a couple. So go ahead and check that out. However, my hair was not done, and I usually don't go live when my hair's not done, which I realize is super vain and egotistical. And if I am here to serve you, then I need to be on live even when I don't feel like I look my best, right? Nonetheless, I'm happy that I was an hour late because I had to go get this done. And at this point, I am going to say good night, everyone. Thank you for joining. I am now moving on to homeowner life, to Home Depot. Thank you all. Appreciate you. Have a good night. Bye.